So why is it that when a man does something and gets caught and you start questioning him, all of a sudden you're insecure?
For one, because we dead wrong, for one, and we don't need you calling us out on something that we both know is wrong, especially since you're gonna stay anyway. Right? We gotta establish that. There's too much of that going on.
He said that with big energy. He meant that.
It's way too much of that going on. Like you literally got women out here going through your phones, going through your social media, doing FBI detective work just to find some that they gonna stay over anyway. What's the point?
Yeah, I mean,
I might stay, but we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it every day, cause you ain't gonna leave either.
So guys, today my husband purchased me a $500,000 apartment in Dubai. Honestly, I have no idea why he purchased this for me. There has to be a reason behind it. Either he's cheated on me and he's trying to apologize, or he wants a second wife and he's trying to get me to agree to it, or he wants another baby. I have no idea which one it is. This is the view from the apartment. It's so beautiful and it has a crystal lagoon. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think he's done now? You guys really did not like my monthly allowance, so now this is my 2-year-old son's monthly allowance as a multi-millionaire son. First up is a full-time personal chauffeur, which is $5,000 a month. We have luxury and designer shopping, which is $10,000 a month. Then we have gymnastics lessons, which are $1,000 a month. 3 indoor play sessions a week, which is around $900 per month to keep him super busy in Dubai. And because kids grow up their clothes super quickly, we have custom-made tailored clothes, which is $3,000 a month, and this is his tailor taking all of his measurements for him. Super important, swimming lessons, $1,700 per month. Of course, we have to have weekly haircuts to keep his hair looking neat and tidy because he does not like them long at all. We have daily massages, which come up to around $4,000 per month. And of course, because his mum doesn't know how to cook, food is completely unlimited. There's no budget to it because he has all of his meals outside. And then fun days out, completely unlimited because he is going to be homeschooled.
So today we're going to talk about women being money hungry. We're also going to talk about the men. But first, we're going to start with the women. Is it okay for a woman to go for a provider male? Is it okay? A lot of men don't see it as okay for a woman going for a provider male. Why? Because they never seen their mother get spoiled by a man. They watch their mother struggle to make ends meet. And so they expect all women to struggle. All women are not the same. You got some women that will lay down for a pack of noodles. And then you got other women that will lay down for a Chanel bag. All women are not the same. Did I watch the women in my family struggle growing up? No, because they all had husbands that fully took care of them. Now, did they just sit on their asses as their husbands were at work? No, they had to take care of the house. They had to make sure the house was clean. They had to cook. They had to make sure the kids were good. Kids are a lot of work. Sometimes kids get sick. Sometimes they get hurt at school. And then if you got teenagers, sometimes they're skipping class. They getting into all kinds of trouble. They breaking into the liquor cabinet. Some are doing drugs. It's a lot for a mother to handle while the father is getting to the bag. Now you got a lot of black men out here. They want to be like their fathers and they just want to be deadbeats, impregnating all the cute little women, and then they leave their kids forever. And they don't care what happened to their kids. They don't care if the son becomes a drug dealer, the daughter becomes a stripper. They can care less. It was a girl on TikTok and she told her story of how she was once a stripper and she was stripping with her back turned. She felt a man grabbing on her ass. She turned around and it was her daddy feeling on her ass. Can you imagine? She said her father ran out the strip club. I bet he did. And these are the same men that get surprised by what their kids are doing for money. Well, you weren't there, so she doing what she had to do. When men are out here complaining about women constantly, it doesn't really bother me because real men do not have time for the internet unless it's their job. They don't have time to fight with women. They're worried about their 401k. They worried about health insurance. They're worried about real shit, while little boys are talking about dumb shit. If you're constantly talking about you hate black women, you need therapy. If you're constantly talking about black women to your white girlfriend, you need therapy. Story time. I was on a date with a guy and he says to me, hey, can you tell me the price of your handbag and your shoes? I sat in silence for a couple of seconds and then I said, listen, have I asked you for anything? He said, what do you mean? I said, since we've been talking, have I asked you for money? He said, no, you haven't asked me for anything. You see, men, they're so used to making themselves tricks that they think everybody's selling pussy. Needless to say, that was my last date with him because if a man is intimidated by a stupid-ass purse and a stupid-ass pair of shoes, we don't need to be together. I don't see purses and handbags as my everything. It's just stuff. Men have to wake up because they lack communication. They can't even communicate their own thoughts. And they have the nerve to say school is done, but they can't communicate. And to the men, if you see a woman out and about and she has on a nice dress, nice pair of heels, and a nice handbag, but your instincts tell you that she's too expensive, just leave her alone instead of taking her out and telling her everything that you can't afford. Go get the chick with the Walmart bag and the jelly shoes and call it a day. And stop letting your date know that you're a trick. We don't want to know that. I don't want to know that you out here buying vagina. Black men are always saying black women need help. Black men need help too. It is too many of you all that don't know how to speak in full sentences. And when you tell men the truth, they look at you like a deer in headlights. It's crazy. These black dating coaches can't tell black men the truth because they will lose their audience. They can't tell these black men, hey, speak in full sentences. Stop saying all the time. Some of these men out here be mumbling and you don't know what they're saying. It's crazy. They're not getting any real instruction from these dating coaches. But can you blame the dating coaches? You should have learned that from your dad. Remember when Kevin Samuels was alive and he was teaching these men how to wipe their asses? Telling them to wipe until the brown is gone? No, that's something you teach a 5-year-old. Do we have that clip?
Wipe your ass, niggas. Stop wiping your ass with paper, with toilet tissue. These need to sit right behind your toilet. And after you take a shit, you wipe until the brown is gone. And yes, you also need to put your index finger, your middle finger up and around your bunghole a little bit, nigga. Yeah, you need to go, not no freaky shit now. Don't get no good stupid. But you need to make sure you clean out to where you don't want no fucking dingleberries, man. Leave these in your bathroom. Bitches will appreciate it. Niggas will appreciate it. Wipe your ass with these and then dry off with paper towel, with toilet paper.
You don't know what chemicals are in toilet paper or in wipes. So I personally think it's best to just not wipe. But I stopped wiping about 2 years ago when I started using the litter box instead of a toilet. And I have noticed, like, I have not gotten as sick as often. Now, I know correlation is not causation, but, you know, I feel like my immune system has, like, been built up since I stopped wiping. And it's probably because I'm not exposing myself to those chemicals.
So wait a minute, she uses a litter box. So she don't wipe her ass, she just sits in a litter box. You know what? I'm done. Now see, men don't want to talk about this. How many black men have white girlfriends with litter boxes? That's what I want to know. This is why black men and white women connect so well. They don't wipe their asses, apparently. We got to move on to another topic because I'm about to throw up.
How much money do you think you made through social media?
Through social media, probably a dub. Probably about just social media.
Mm-hmm.
About 20 million last 3 years. That's when I really started monetizing.
Telling jokes, huh? And skits.
It's some skits, man, some storylines. I was telling jokes at first.
Need a partner?
Yeah, it look like you doing fine. I tell you what, boy, hey, you know about this money.
Yeah.
The social media game, it's the in-stream ads and stuff, but they didn't have that at first. So
Right.
how I was monetizing at first is getting popular, you go on tour.
Right.
But I was like, that ain't monetization.
Right.
Because if I
That's
gotta
work.
do this, that's work. So I'm like, no, how can I learn? Because what I did, I was hearing about residuals and all that, and what I did in math, the whole thing about math is to simplify something. That's what math is. You take 50 over 100 and break it all the way down to 1 over 2. So what I did, I took the TV format, people talk about residual in TV shows, and I minimum, you know what I'm saying? I took it to, I minimized it to a point of, I got my version of that.
Okay.
And now I'm able to make residuals. I'm making money right now while I'm sitting. And people was laughing at me at first. When I first started doing those skits, people like, oh, them little skits, And I went to before I started, I went to every social media who was big at the time and sat down with them. And look, man, we gotta do this social media thing. We come together, we can share storylines, share content. They was all like, nah, they don't seem like, all right, you wanna keep going out here tap dancing on tour? All right, so that social media thing, when I figured out that niche, man, I was onto it. And I seen it, so I ain't care what nobody said. I was doing all kinds of skits. I was an old man one time. I was a character named Drip. And I'm like, man, this money really on social media. Because that's where everybody eyeballs at.
Right.
So if I'm an advertiser,
Right.
I'm going to keep pouring money into social media. So I feel like social media was the future, whether people want to accept it or not.
But you knew that.
I knew that. I knew that because I already realized, I paid attention and listened. And I realized Hollywood was always the ad business. It never was the movie business,
Right.
a TV show business. They always say, let us pay our bills. So you got to pay in the Army.
Commercial.
Yeah, in the Army, they teach you attention to detail. Teamwork is the key. So wherever the eyeballs are at, that's where the money gonna be at.
Right.
So if I'm looking to my left and the right and people on their phone all day, it's like investing in the stock. I would be stupid to believe that people are watching this more than they watching this. So I'm like, these advertisers finna start pouring this money and I'm gonna be a part of this new generation.
You got on the train early.
I got on early. And I caught the pandemic because we'll never sit down like that again.
No.
So I was like, man, we sitting down, everybody waiting to go back to work? I'm like, no.
And everybody wants to be entertained when there's no entertainment going on.
Man, I got all the kinks practicing. Okay, they like this, the algorithm like this like this, this like this, this like this, this like this. I say, bam. I say, man, this old boy. I say, I'm gonna have me $1 billion by the time I'm 50. You know what I'm saying? I already seen it. It was just too many people watching social media.
So he does 10 skits a day and made $20 million. Listen, he just gave the blueprint. What you gonna do? Television is obsolete. I can't even sit still for 10 minutes and watch television. I would rather watch TikTok. TikTok is definitely more entertaining than television. TikTok has me laughing all day long. And you know television is obsolete when the celebrities are running to YouTube. Look at all the celebrities that have YouTube channels. All of them do now. Remember when celebrities took these YouTubers as a joke and then they found out how much some of them are making and they got mad about it? I seen one YouTuber who she bought 2 cars in one day and then turned around and bought a home. And she was bragging about how she was making more than celebrities. And, you know, the celebrities, they've been watching. And now they're here to take all the money. You know, the celebrities, they have a huge advantage because they have all these Hollywood friends. So all they have to do is call that person up and say, hey, come on my channel and let me hit 1 million views. Now, is it fair? It doesn't matter. Life isn't fair. You got to deal with the cards that you're dealt. That's the one thing about success. You're not allowed to make excuses. I'm Star. Thank you so much for coming to the channel. Good night.